What if the hardest battles you face aren't the ones in the outside world, but the ones happening inside the mind? What if some of the behaviors that frustrate you, confuse you, or even hurt you aren't just difficult people, but patterns shaped by deep, unseen personality structures? Have you ever dealt with someone who seems loving one moment and explosive the next? Someone who manipulates without realizing it? Someone who avoids conflict by disappearing? Or someone who clings too tightly? You're not alone. Understanding personality isn't about labeling people. It's about recognizing patterns that influence every relationship you have, at home, at work, in friendships, and even within yourself. Welcome to our powerful new series, diving deep into personality disorders, what they really mean, and how they affect daily life. This series is divided into 6 transformative parts, each one exploring a major personality disorder category. Part 1. Borderline personality disorder. Intense emotions, fear of abandonment, unstable relationships. Part 2. Narcissistic personality disorder. Grandiosity, fragile self-esteem, manipulation, and emotional detachment. Part 3. Antisocial personality disorder. Deceit, impulsivity, lack of empathy, and violation of boundaries. Part 4. Avoidant personality disorder. Deep fear of criticism, social isolation, and painful self-doubt. Part 5. Dependent personality disorder. Extreme need for reassurance, difficulty making decisions, intense fear of being alone. Part 6. Obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. Perfectionism, rigid control, and anxiety about making mistakes. These disorders shape how people think, feel, and connect, often without them realizing it, and they deeply impact relationships, marriages, parenting, the workplace, communication, emotional well-being. Understanding these patterns empowers you to set healthy boundaries, stop taking behaviors personally, help the people you love, understand your own triggers, break cycles that have repeated for years. Because once you understand why someone behaves the way they do, you stop reacting out of emotion and start responding out of wisdom. And today, we begin with one of the most misunderstood and emotionally intense personality disorders of all, a disorder that turns relationships into emotional roller coasters, where love, fear, anger, and desperation collide within minutes. Today, we're diving into borderline personality disorder, BPD. What it is, what it isn't, how it feels on the inside, and how it impacts the lives of everyone connected to it. Take a deep breath. Open your mind, and let's begin. There are storms in life, and then there are storms within people. Winds that change direction without warning. Emotions that rise like waves, crashing hard, even when the sea looks calm. A heart that loves fiercely, but fears abandonment even more. This is the world of someone living with borderline personality disorder. A life where the internal weather can shift in minutes, and every relationship becomes both a safe place and a battlefield. Borderline personality disorder, or BPD, is not a weakness. It's not drama. It's not attention-seeking. It is an invisible wound, one often formed in childhood through trauma, emotional neglect, or unpredictable environments. Imagine growing up never knowing if peace will hold, or if the next moment will bring chaos. Imagine learning to survive by clinging, withdrawing, exploding, or shutting down. That's the foundation many people with BPD carry into adulthood, not by choice, but by survival. One of the core struggles in BPD is the intense fear of being abandoned, not just physically, but emotionally. For someone with BPD, love feels like everything. Affection feels like oxygen. Connection feels like home. But the fear of losing that connection, it can feel like suffocation, triggering panic, anger, or desperate attempts to keep the relationship alive. It's not manipulation, it's fear. A fear so deep that the mind can turn shadows into threats and silence into rejection. Most people feel emotions like steady waves, rising and falling naturally. But for someone with BPD, emotions don't just rise, they erupt. Joy can feel like euphoria. Sadness can feel like devastation. Anger can feel volcanic. Fear can feel life-threatening. These emotions aren't mild. They're intense, immediate, and often uncontrollable. It's not that they don't want to regulate their emotions. Their brains simply process emotional pain differently. One of the most painful parts of BPD is the unstable sense of self. Ask someone with BPD who they are, and on Monday, they may give one answer. By Friday, another. They can feel like strangers to themselves, their identity changing based on emotions, environment, and relationships. This isn't being confused. It's a deep internal struggle. Who am I when my feelings change so fast? Who am I without someone to anchor me? Relationships with someone with BPD often feel like two extremes. You're perfect. You're the only one who understands me. You don't care about me. You're just like everyone else. This shift isn't manipulation or malice. It's emotional overwhelm. When someone feels deeply loved, they idealize. When they feel hurt, even accidentally, they may react as if it were betrayal. It's a protective instinct rooted in fear. Behind the outbursts, behind the impulsive decisions, behind the emotional intensity, there is pain, deep, internal pain, shame, guilt, loneliness that cuts like a blade. Many people with BPD don't want to hurt others. They just don't know how to stop hurting themselves. Self-harm, risky behaviors, impulsive decisions. These are not choices made lightly, but attempts to escape emotional agony. Let's be clear, BPD is not manipulation. BPD is not being crazy. BPD is not attention-seeking. It is a complex mental health condition rooted in profound emotional sensitivity, trauma, and neurological differences. People with BPD are not villains. They are humans with enormous emotional depth, often capable of incredible empathy, creativity, passion, and loyalty. And here's the truth many never hear. BPD is treatable. People can heal. They can learn emotional regulation. They can build healthy relationships. Therapies like DBT, trauma-informed care, and mindfulness can transform lives. Support, patience, and understanding can rewrite the script. And many who heal become some of the strongest, most emotionally intelligent people you will ever meet. Maybe you watched this because you love someone with BPD. Maybe it's your partner, your child, your friend. Or maybe you watched because you see these patterns in yourself. Wherever you stand, you're not alone. Understanding BPD is the first step toward connection, toward healing, toward healthier relationships. Knowledge doesn't just inform, it transforms. And now that we've uncovered the emotional world of borderline personality disorder, in Part 2, we will move to a disorder that often intertwines with BPD, a personality structure rooted in deep insecurity, masked by confidence, control, and self-focus. Subscribe and stay with us as we journey deeper into the mind, the heart, and the hidden world of human personality.